Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the channel, and in today's video we're going to be looking at 10 players that want to play for Newcastle United this summer. So about a month ago now I did quite a similar video where I looked at 10 players that Newcastle want to sign, but whereas in this video it's the opposite, it's 10 players that actually want to play for us. Obviously since the takeover now we're going to be attracting a lot more interest from football players across the world. Some of these players are world class, some of these players I'm not a fan of. But yeah, this isn't my opinion, guys. This isn't who I want to sign. This is just players that want to play for Newcastle. So make sure to let me know in the comment section your thoughts on these 10 players. But anyway though, if you're new to the channel, make sure to head down there, hit that subscribe button, join the journey. Make sure you don't miss out on any uploads regarding Newcastle on the channel. And as well as you can also get down there, smash our like button. Now, one thing I don't tend to talk about too much, but I do get some requests. If people ever want to donate to the channel, by the way, there's actually an option down below where you can press like a thanks button and you can donate directly to the channel there, or if you want to just go on my Ko-Fi page, the option's on there. Of course I appreciate any donations that are made, it really does mean a lot, but don't worry, it's not a requirement. Just you watching my video is supporting me enough, so thank you so much. But anyway though, enough about that, let's get into the players now. Let's get this stupid one out of the way first. I want to talk about this player anyway because I still love him as a football player. However though, this player at Newcastle is just deluded. It's never ever going to happen. But Paqueta, last summer he actually wanted to join Newcastle. He wanted to move back to the Premier League at the age of 36. Now he was trying quite a bit, but in the end he didn't get an English move. So eventually after training quite a bit for Watford, he moved on to a Turkish club. Now the reason why I want to talk about him is because of the story about him actually, that he was watching Newcastle at Watford away. The only match under Steve Bruce where we were the better team, and he was there supporting the team on. He was just saying how much of a Newcastle fan he still is and how much he loves the football club. Now I love former Newcastle players when they come out and talk about how much they love the football club. This wasn't just a job to them, they loved the club through and through and their fans. Now that's class to hear, but I actually think this is somewhat of a problem for our current players, nostalgia. Because Paqueta was good in 2012, doesn't justify a move now for a 36-year-old, 37-year-old that's just past it. And that's a problem with a lot of our current players. Because we brought them in 2016 for our championship season, a lot of them can't pull the weight anymore, and we can't rely on them anymore. We've got to be brutal and we've got to sell the ones we have. But it's still good to hear from Cisse though. I wish him all the best, and hopefully in the future the club gives him somewhat of a chance, but not in the pitch though. Listen, he wants to play for Newcastle. Well, I want a man to stay with a kiss him on this cheek. It's not going to happen at all. He has to know that his time at Newcastle is done on the pitch, and that's the same with a lot of our current players. We'll begin off with the goalkeeper now. So Dean Henderson, he is a player that wants to come to Newcastle. He is needing game time from Manchester United. However, I don't know what's going on with his deal. It was spoken by the Manchester Evening News about 3 weeks ago now that him to Newcastle was actually a done deal, or 99% done deal, sorry. But I mean, it's clearly not 99% done because nothing's happened from it, and it seemed to have fallen completely flat. There's also conflicting reports coming out and saying that Newcastle aren't going to go for him anymore. So I don't know what's going on there, but the fact doesn't change that he wants to come to Newcastle. He needs the game time, he needs that consistent game time. And for me, in a loan deal, I thought it was a no-brainer. But as always though, there's probably more behind the scenes. Manchester United, obviously in January with Lingard, they were just completely stupid how they went about it. So chances are, on the business side of things, they were just taking the mick again and putting in offers that Newcastle are never ever going to accept. So we'll see what happens. I think Newcastle will get a goalkeeper this summer. But in terms of Dean Henderson, that one looks dead in the water at this current time. But the player does still want to move to the club though. Matt Targett became Newcastle United's first summer transfer signing after his successful loan spell from Aston Villa earlier in the year. Now, Renault Loddy was the player that Newcastle were also trying to sign at the same time, but in the end chose to pick Matt Targett. That Renault Loddy actually wanted to join the club. His party was extremely interested in Newcastle's project, and he was a player that was wanting to reunite with Kieran Trippier and continue the fullback of dreams pushing down the lines. Because of the Matt Targett transfer now, it's going to completely rule out Renault Loddy. We're just not going to sign two left backs in the same transfer window. That would be very surprising if it happened. So I do believe in the next year or two, Newcastle might actually go back in form. If the player is still interested in that time, then yeah, I could definitely see this one happening. But as for the summer window though, despite Renault Loddy's interest, Newcastle have decided to pick Matt Targett instead, and chances are they will not be going back in for the Atletico Madrid left back. Moving on to the centre halves now, let's speak about the one, the only, the Botman. because let's face it, everyone's spoke about him and he's been mentioned in so many of my videos now, but the truth is that he wanted to join Newcastle in January. I said it so many times now, so I'm not going to keep repeating it. Newcastle have not given up on him. They are going for him. They are hungry for him. And within the next day or two, we will find out if he joins Newcastle with AC Milan. Things are looking very good for Newcastle at the minute, but I'm not going to spoil anything more. All I'm saying is I've got the video on standby. I pre-recorded it yesterday. I'm just waiting for a little bit more information before putting the video out there. But things look really good for him. If Newcastle don't get their target, then they're going for someone else. It's just as simple as that. But he is a player that wants to play for Newcastle in January. Whether he's changed his mind this window or not is another question. But I personally still believe he does want that move. Another centre-half that wants to join Newcastle United this summer is Nathan Ake. Due to his links with Eddie Howe in the past now, when Eddie Howe knocks, you answer the door. The pull power is in full force. However, straight away, his biggest problem is the price tag of Manchester City. £50 million is the price tag that Manchester City wants. I'm sorry, £50 million for a bench warmer. What? Just no, Newcastle never ever going to pay that money for him. He's not worth 50 million. If we could potentially get him on a loan deal, that would be great. But chances are that's not going to happen. It'll have to be a permanent move. And 50 million is just ridiculous. There's no chance of how Newcastle will pay that. So despite the Eddie Howe links, I don't think this one will happen at all. But hopefully, in a year or two's time, we'll continue to plant the seeds and potentially this may be one Newcastle will go back in for. But for now, though, a big fat no for this one. Moving into the midfield now, let's talk about the obvious one first, Lucas Paqueta. We already know from the Bruno links that straight away it's a no-brainer. Best buds, both of them want to play alongside each other once again. Bruno's going nowhere, so the Yawn has to move Paqueta. Now, a big problem with him actually straight away once again is the price tag. £54 million we would have to pay to get him off Lyon. And the thing is as well that Newcastle, yes, I do think we need an arm midfielder, but I think there's several other positions we need more. And I think the club knows that and they're going to target those positions first. And we've got a team like Tottenham now actually wanting them now. Tottenham, of course, have got Champions League football, and I think it's also a really good move for the player to make. So, unless Newcastle show their interest now and put the bids in, then I think Tottenham's just a no-brainer. I think you would actually pick the Tottenham move. So, despite him wanting Newcastle, I think you also want a Premier League club with Champions League football. So, if there's a better offer there, Newcastle haven't shown up, then yes, I think you will make the move to Tottenham. So, it's now or never for Newcastle. Do they take the chance? But this is a player that does want to play for Newcastle because of the Bruno links. Sitting inside now, it is so hot there. Anyway, though, not a midfielder that is willing to join Newcastle among our Premier League clubs is Christian Eriksen. It is expected this summer that he will leave Brentford, obviously due to his house scare last year. It's not really somewhere where he wants to stay all his career. He hasn't got too many years left, and now is his last chance to make a big move to a club he wants to go to. Newcastle is one of those clubs due to a high project, as well as Kieran Trippier, of course, having the Tottenham links to Eriksen. And as well as that, it's a pretty good move for him to make. He would be a player that's on the bench, not playing week in, week out, and just someone that's going to be a squad rotation player, which is exactly the kind of style of player he is now. But once again, the likes of Tottenham, if they're going for him, then chances are he's obviously going to pick Tottenham over Newcastle. So it just depends on a few variables, but Newcastle is a move that the player would be willing to make, and he would be happy to come into the clubs. Let's finish off all the attacking players now. So the first one, Hugo Eckertike. He has agreed terms to join Newcastle on a 5-year contract. However, in his final game for France, his hamstring runs. This typical poor luck, that's so unlucky. But the problem now is that Newcastle might actually turn back on their decision and go, well, he's had 2 hamstring issues in the same year. We actually want to sign somewhere else now, and they might outright walk away from Hugo, which would be quite sad to see, but the club has to do what's best for business. And at the end of the day, if it's going to be a problem like Callum Wilson going forward, we're just not going to make a £30 million move for this player, especially when there's other players out there. So we'll see what happens to this one, but this player has agreed terms to join Newcastle, so he clearly wants to move. Just whether Newcastle will proceed to go forward with it after his injury is another question. I think they will personally, but there is a possibility they just won't take the risk and will actually walk away. A former Newcastle United player that could potentially come back to the club is Ivan Toney. Now, he's a player that wants to leave Brentford. He's made it quite clear on social media. He's just lack of respect for the club at times, which doesn't look good at all, but it is clearly show that the player doesn't want to be there. And the fact that Newcastle, I mean, a couple of years ago, literally showed him the door, £500,000 we sold him for. Now, straight away, despite how good of a player he may or may not be, I really don't like us re-signing players that we sold for like that amount of money, because it just makes us look like mugs. Really, just really poor transfer business from Newcastle, let him go that early. But it's whether people want to say him or not. Personally, for me, I don't mind so much. It just depends how much he costs, and obviously if he's going to treat the club with respect. The last thing I want to see is players coming out and just these snide comments, and that would really frustrate me if I see any Newcastle player do that. So obviously if he does make the move, then that's something he has to watch out for. But whether Newcastle want to sign him or not is another question. But the belief is that he does actually want to move to another Premier League club, with Newcastle being one of the clubs he would definitely be willing to make a move back to. Finally, one more Premier League striker that wants to relocate this summer is Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Now, after a couple of poor seasons at Everton, it's believed in the media that he wants to move to another Premier League club to try and get his form back, with Newcastle being a club that he would be willing to make a move to. Now, personally for me, I think we could do better. That's not a sort of lack of respect towards the player. I mean, ever since the takeaway, it might be sheer arrogance, but I want to see us sign some more exciting players, personally. So, I'm sorry if I sound like a bit of a dick to him there, but no, I'm not really a fan, to be honest. I want to see us try and get some other players in. But anyway, guys, that's just my thoughts on that player there. But that's 10 players that want to sign for Newcastle this summer. Which ones would you take? One really silly one in there, a few good players and a few mediocre players. It just depends on people's perception, people's opinions. But anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comments section. Thank you all for watching, and yes, I'll see you on the next one.